Welcome back for day 9. Today's intention is to focus on balance. And in yoga, yes, we're going to do some work on strengthening our ability to balance in postures, but also in life, right? We don't always need to be busy doing stuff. And I feel that the world is very task oriented. We as a society are very task oriented. We go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And yoga is helpful in giving you an opportunity to slow things down and find that balance again of quieting the mind rather than constantly living in the busy. So let's head to the mat and work on our balance. So welcome back for day 9. Today our intention is to work on balance, both on and off the mat. But for now, we'll start with settling in. So let's get down on the floor. We're going to start today lying on our backs with the knees up. And bring the knees together and then let the feet come out toward the outer edges of the yoga mat. So the knees are into each other. So it's more of a relaxed posture here. And then the hands can be down by the sides, over the belly. Maybe you put one hand up on your heart and the other over your belly, abdomen area. So just find a place where you can settle in. And then start to tune in with your inhales and your exhales. So whatever stuff you're bringing with you tonight, today, whenever this is for you, see if you can just let go of the stuff from the day thus far. And imagine that you're just putting all of your to-dos, all of your busy on an imaginary little notepad and just put it away for later. And if you find your mind starting to wander, see if you can come back to this breath, back to the inhales and exhales, back to your intention of finding balance. And as you're inhaling, if you do have your hands over your belly, see if you can feel the expansion. And really give yourself that big, full, deep inhale that we don't do all day long. And then if you can, take a little bit more at the top and then exhale as slow as you can. So really settling in, letting the rest of the body get heavy so the shoulder blades are down, flat on the yoga mat, on the floor. And everything else is relaxed. You're not gripping, you're not holding anything, just letting go. In balance with yoga, consider all the parts, the breath, the body, the movement. And this time is the hardest part for some people, this arriving, this settling in. It's hard for me. If you're someone who likes to move and be busy, it's really hard to sit with the quiet and your thoughts, but it is an important part of the balance. So take a couple more really deep inhales and exhales here. And from here, we're coming into a happy baby. So you're going to bring the knees down towards the shoulders and kick the feet up toward the ceiling. Grab the outer edges of the feet, maybe a yoga toe lock, which is your peace fingers around. Maybe you grab underneath the thighs. Find where you can settle in. This is one of those postures that we have to give it a few breath cycles for to do its magic. So some find it better to be still here. And for me, I like to move back and forth here on my tailbone so you can rock back and forth. And maybe when you're here, you find an area that needs a little extra love. So maybe you hover there on my right side here. I can feel a little area of tension, and you can use the floor to just sort of massage out some of that lower back in your happy baby. Or if you are able to reach your feet, this is a great opportunity to just give yourself a little foot massage. Maybe just rub your feet a little here. Couple more big breaths here. And then we'll bring the feet together and let the legs come down. So you're making a little diamond here. And everyone's diamond is a little different. So you need to find what's going to be able for you. And it may not be having your feet way up here, and that's fine. So find that shape where you can let the knees rest out and let them get heavy toward the floor. Feet are pressed together. You're creating that little diamond shape. And so that you can feel like you can really settle in here. Don't force yourself into a place where you can't really relax into the posture. So find that sweet spot for you. Full breaths here. Just really allowing the hips to open up here. This is a very vulnerable posture. Really opening up. And then we'll bring the knees together, and you can use your hands to just sort of guide the knees back together and then pull them in. And we'll take a couple rocks here on the spine. And we'll come up, and then we'll meet on hands and knees. Tabletop position. So find your tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spine is one long straight line. And your neck is long. And smile. Take a couple cat-cow. Chin comes up, tailbone comes up. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, drop the belly. And really stretch here. Really allow this to really stretch everything out. So as you're exhaling and you're rounding out your back, tuck the chin. Really curl everything up. Imagine that you're a shrimp. And on the inhale, really dip that belly. Really tilt the chin up. Open up that throat chakra. Exhale, round it out. One more. And then we'll bring the big toes together. Bring the knees out a little wider and keep your hands where they are. Reach the right hand all the way up toward the ceiling. So you're opening up, getting a big stretch here. Really reach, reach, reach as if you're grabbing something off the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we'll thread the needle. So you're going to let that right hand come underneath the left arm. And a couple options here. You can extend that left arm out over your head toward the top of the yoga mat. You can make a little box here by planting the palm, keeping a little space for your head. Or you can take the bind, so bringing that left arm all the way behind and maybe tucking it in that right hip area. So find what feels good for you, but find a place where you can settle in again here. And we're going to let the breath, the inhales and the exhales, allow you to deepen this stretch a little. And try not to hold anything, try not to grip. One more big inhale. One more big exhale. And to come out, you plant that left palm, and you're going to push up and reach that right hand all the way back up toward the ceiling again. Just getting nice and stretched out so that we can come into a few different types of balance explorations. Okay, setting up to do the same thing, opposite side. So big toes are together, knees are slightly spread apart, and now we're reaching that left arm all the way up toward the ceiling. Really reach, reach, reach as if you're going to grab something off the ceiling. And then again, we thread the needle so that left hand comes underneath the right arm. You're coming down, resting on that left shoulder. And then option here, keep that right arm extended toward the top of the yoga mat. Maybe make a little box here around your head by planting the palm. Or maybe you take the bind. And it may have felt good one way on one side, but maybe something else feels better here. And again, we're not perfectly even, and we're not all going to do things exactly the same way. So find what feels the best for your body and settle in. One more big inhale and one more big exhale here. Make them count. Maybe make it the biggest inhale and exhale you've taken all day. And then to come out, we'll push into that right palm. And then that left hand reaches all the way back up toward the ceiling again. Reach, reach, reach. And then bring it back down and come back to find your tabletop position. Again, make any little adjustments you need to. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to find some balance. We did this previously, but you probably feel a little stronger, maybe a little more confident in your yoga practice now. So we'll come back to it. So reaching that right hand out toward the front, thumb pointed toward the ceiling. See how that feels. Find your foundation. If you feel good, maybe you kick that left leg out. And breathe. Zip up the core. So no dipping here. Keep everything up. And breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Two more breaths. You got this. And then on the exhale, bring it down. Maybe take a couple cat-cows here. And then we're taking it to the other side. So again, find your foundation. Make sure you feel like you're nice and strong. You've got a nice wide base underneath, so fingers are spread apart. And now we'll lift that left hand up, thumb pointed toward the ceiling. See how you feel. And when you feel good, then you can let that right leg come up too. And breathe. Sometimes that's the hardest part. The tendency is to hold your breath. So try to really use your breath here. Big inhales and exhales. One more big breath. Let everything come down on the exhale. Give yourself a little child's pose here. So sink the tailbone all the way back toward the feet and reach the arms out toward the front of the yoga mat. Come back to that intention of finding balance. Come back to your breath. When you're ready, we'll meet back up on hands and knees just to transition up into downward facing dog. Find some stillness today. I usually pedal it out right away in down dog, but try finding some stillness today. Check your alignment. You can bend the knees, drop the belly, straighten the legs. Try just breathing here in your down dog. And it doesn't really matter where your feet, your heels are. Your heels do not have to be touching the yoga mat. You just want to feel like you're getting the stretch. And then on the next inhale, you're going to kick that right leg all the way up behind you, open the hip. So kicking that foot toward the opposite wall. Work on your balance here. So making sure you're distributing the weight evenly between your hands. You're not dumping all of that weight onto the left side when you kick toward that left wall. Keeping the spine where it was. Just that leg is kicking. Bring it down. Switching sides, same thing. Other side. Kick that left leg all the way up. Open the hip. Again, check in here. Make sure everything is evenly distributed. It takes more strength, it takes more core when you find the alignment. Exhale, bring it down. Walk up toward your hands. And we're coming into a forward fold. So have the feet about hips width distance apart. You can keep a generous bend in the knees. We just want to get that nice release in the lower back. Let everything hang. And your hands can be on the floor, on your shins. You can take a rag doll here. Whatever feels good. When you're ready, plant the hands and step it back into your plank. Hold your plank. And then exhale, bring it down. Come into your up dog. And then back into your down dog. Tuck the toes, push it back up. Pedal it out. And then we'll step that right foot forward and between the palms. From here, we're going to play with balance again. So start to see how it feels to bring that left foot a little closer, a little closer. Walk the hands forward. Make any little adjustments that you feel like you might need to, and then see how it feels to kick that left leg up. Just playing here, keeping the hands on the floor. Just getting used to this posture. Breathe. Exhale, bring it down. Kick that right foot back, come back to your plank. We'll bring it down into up dog and then your down dog. Pedal it out here. And then we're switching sides. So you're bringing that left foot forward between the palms. And then take that extra moment to find your foundation. Stack that knee over the ankle. And then start to walk that right foot forward. Maybe you walk the hands forward. See how it feels to kick it up. Just seeing how this feels, just feeling this out. And breathe. Exhale, drop that foot back, bring the hands back, kick that left foot back, and we'll come all the way down into an extended child's pose. Give yourself a few breaths. Maybe take a little namaste behind the neck and walk the elbows toward the front of the yoga mat so you get a little added stretch in the underarms here. When you're ready, come all the way up. Find an easy seat. So we're just starting to explore some balance. Hopefully you're feeling like you're building up that core, building up that strength. tomorrow we'll have a restorative practice for day 10, and that will be a live practice. So to close out for today, balance is not something that you find, it's something that you create. So we all have to create a balance that works for us in the situation that we're in. So think about what that means to you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bringing the thumbs to the heart center. Thank you for practicing with me. The light in me honors the light in all of you. Namaste.